Hello, if you're joining, say hello. Let's see. A few of you are jumping on. I'm just taking care of my laptop here for a second, and then I'll be right with you. Jumped on a minute early so that way I can work out the kinks with my laptop. And if you're here, say hello. I'm not seeing any comments yet. I'll be right with you. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm seeing my page, but I'm not seeing comments yet, so I'll be right there. Let's see. Okay, I'll get started. Hi, Stacy. Okay, seeing comments now. I did have a good Easter. I hope the same for you. It was quiet. Just myself and my husband and another couple. We went to a steakhouse, which was delicious. And we have lots of leftovers. We didn't have them tonight. We'll have them tomorrow night. So as you can see, this is a bit of a continuation from when was I here last? Friday night with the colors and the stamp set. So it's part of a 3-card set. And I will bring back the original in a moment. I'm just going to introduce myself for anyone that might be new here. My name is Antoinette Bay. I am with the Paper Papillion, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lynbrook, New York, which is in the United States, for anyone that may not be from the United States. If you're joining, please say hello and let me know where you're from. Big capital letter shared. I'd really appreciate that if you share the video, and when you do that, if you let me know in the comments that you've done that in big capital letters, it just helps me see better when I'm scrolling through all the comments to see who shared, so I can enter you into the drawing for the card that I'll be giving away on Thursday evening. Not tonight. Thursday evening is my normal night for giveaways. And also for the comments. So anyone that comments and shares, you get entered into a drawing. So I would really love it if you would comment and share and like and love and all that jazz. Anyway, let's get started. Since I saw that we had a few more people on than usual the last couple of times, I thought maybe I would cut the paper just in case there's anyone here who wonders, you know, about measurements for cutting. So I thought we would just cut the paper with the trimmer. So I'm using, let's go through what I'm using. A little bit of Wink Castella because I think I just have a little bit left. And we're using the postage stamp and the Posted For You stamp set bundle. And this is retiring ribbon, and it's called, what is it called? Metallic Edge Ribbon. Using a little bit of that. Rich Raspberry ink, Mossy Meadow ink, Old Olive ink. We're using Stampin' Blends, Rich Raspberry and Old Olive. Rich Raspberry cardstock. This is shimmery white. I know you can't see it, but I can see it. This is shimmery white cardstock, and this is basic black cardstock. And we'll cut that down two different ways. So we're going to cut it down to 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're also going to cut a piece down to 4.25 by 11. So on the 8.5 inch side, we want to come to the 5.5 inch mark and cut that in half. And then we're going to need a piece of another piece that is going to measure 5.25 by 4. Okay, so that's for this card right here. And we're going to score this piece that we cut 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score that at 4.25. So now my cutting blade is up on top right here. That's the darker of the two. And my scoring blade is down on the bottom. Normally I do this ahead of time, but since I noticed that we had a lot of people on the past couple of times, I thought if there's anyone who wondered about cutting the paper, this is it. And now I have my score mark right in the middle. And then we'll use the bone folder for that. And then we're going to cut another piece to 4.25 by 11. So on the 8.5 inch side, we'll go to the 4.25 mark and use our cutting blade. And then we'll turn that around and score that at 5.5. That would be half of 11. So that's 5.5. And I'll make sure my cutting blade is up here and my scoring blade is right here. Okay. And now for this, we're going to use some Rich Raspberry. And that's going to get cut down to 4. And we're using the cutting blade by 5.25. That's a layer on top of this. That's going to go on top of this black piece. 4 by 5.25. And that's for this piece. And then we're going to take the shimmery white and cut down to 4 1/8. Did I cut that right? Yeah, I did. So that was 5.25. So 4 1/8. Actually, I'm sorry. It should have been 3 7/8. Just slightly under 4. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that is the shimmery white. Okay, so there we go. And that will go like that. That's all part of one card, and then we have another card here. Okay, so all our cutting is pretty much done. The rest will be punching and things like that. Okay, let's start with this card first. I'll put this on the side, and I'll put the scraps on the side. So the first thing I want to do here is my bone folder. And I did lie about the cutting. We do have one more piece to cut. And that is for the inside of each card. We need a 4" by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4 by 4" for this card. And I'm not going to cut the other piece until we get to the second card because I'm not sure if I'm using shimmery white or regular basic white cardstock. We'll see. Okay, so was this for this piece? No, that's for the inside. This one's slightly smaller. Okay, so this piece is for the inside. Okay, so if you're joining, please say hello. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to hear. I'm not really seeing any comments come through, so I'm not sure. Okay, let's start stamping. So we're going to use the Posted For You, and we're going to use this flower here and this flower here. And we're also going, actually no, for this card we're only using this flower, and we'll be using the birds, and we'll be using the special delivery. And the birds, whoops, don't need those. And special delivery. Hi, Patty from Wyoming. Hi, Patty from Florida. Hi, Kathleen. Nice to see you. Nice to see you all here. So we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing with silver embossing powder. Actually, though, before we do that, we are going to stamp a little bit. So let's do our stamping first. So silver embossing powder. This goes here. Before we do that, yeah. I'm going to clean it off with my embossing buddy to get any dust off of here and get a nice clean image. So the first thing we'll do is take, I think I'm going to do this in Old Mossy Meadow, is the special delivery. And we'll do that twice. Okay, and those will get punched out, and we don't need to worry about the little center there. Hi, Lori. Hi, Nancy from Oklahoma. Lori from California. Thank you, Nancy. Now let's get some Versamark. Did I bring that over? Yes, I did. And we'll stamp the leaves. I don't want to shake the table, so I'm going to stamp it here. And we'll go down here with this one. And then we'll do one flower. Okay. And we'll do some silver emboss powder. So I did get my catalog today. I'm so excited. I've got my wish list ready. I never did it over the weekend. I said I would do it by Sunday, and I didn't. I was really waiting to get the catalog in my hands, the new Stampin' Up! Catalog, and it came today. And so I am going to be sitting with that this evening. It's going to get a little loud because I'm turning on the heat tool. Thank you for the big capital letter shared. I appreciate that. Sharing it to your timeline or your crafty group, that helps. All the likes and the loves and the comments always help. We are at, in this group I had said that at 600 I'm giving away a prize, 600 members. And I believe I'm at 500. I forgot to check before I came on, but I think we are at 597 members. So we are 3 members away from that lucky 600th member. So I am looking forward to giving away a prize to that member. Let's see. So now we're going to use do some watercoloring. So tonight we're doing a little watercoloring and a little bit of blending for each card. So I have my old water aqua painter, and I have Old Olive, and we shall do a little watercoloring of the leaves. And I'm not making it too wet. And that is another reason why I'm using shimmery white. If you don't want to use watercolor paper, you can use shimmery white and it won't pill as long as you don't use too much water. If you use plain basic white, it will, and you watercolor, it will pill the paper. So shimmery white is a little bit more expensive, and you only get about, I think it's like 10 sheets. And it's a little bit pricey, but it's worth it to have a pack of shimmery white and when you want to watercolor and you don't necessarily want to use the thicker watercolor paper, which is the case tonight. I didn't want to use the thicker watercolor paper, so I chose to use shimmery white. And it kind of goes because I'm using the silver embossing powder. So it kind of goes, right? So we do a little bit of leaves. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we'll do these leaves here and let that dry a bit. And let's see. Oh, I wanted to share something with you too, but let's finish the coloring and then I'll share it. Okay, now let me get the branch here. I see a little bit too much white space and a little bit here. Okay, let that dry a bit and we'll move on to the rich raspberry. You can also use your heat tool to dry it, but I don't feel I need to do that. It'll dry on its own. And now we'll do a light coat of rich raspberry, and then once it's dry, we're going to come back and hit it again with rich raspberry, and it'll come out darker in certain areas that I want it to be darker. And I am barely even have water on here, very little. Okay, and now we'll do the same on the flowers. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody who celebrated Easter yesterday had a nice day. It was very nice here. We, as I said earlier, went out with another couple and we went to a very nice steakhouse. And I had salmon at the steakhouse. And the reason why I do that is because I like my steak well done, and I don't like to ask for it well done at a steakhouse because they don't like that really. I don't think chefs like cooking steak well done. So I got salmon and it was delicious. There was a lot of fish on the menu, and this is a pretty popular steakhouse. So I was surprised. Okay, now this is dry a little bit. I want to add, that's a little bit more than I wanted to add, but that's okay. We can work with that. And I can add some water in my, yep. So now I just added a little bit of water in here because I want to spread this out a bit. It's a little bit too dark. And I think I'm too late for this one. Oh no, it's going to spread it out a little bit. That's fine, actually. Let's see. I'm frozen. Maybe on your end, Patty, because I'm still moving on my screen. I think you need to go out and come back in again. I'm glad I looked up and saw that. Is everybody else okay? Let's see. Nancy said, Kathleen, haven't gotten that catalog either. Oh, it just came early this morning in like a brown UPS mail, I mean USPS, but in a brown envelope, a craft envelope. Okay, so that's about as much of the watercoloring as I want to do. I am the same way. I always have to send the steak back, so I just don't order it. Yep, see? They don't like it. They don't like it. Even if I say medium well, it still comes out too pink for me. too pink. Okay, so that's all the watercoloring we're going to do here. And I'm going to do the envelopes later off screen. I'll show you the sample of the envelopes. Okay, so let's just dry this just a little bit, because I want to go back on the leaves and make that a little bit darker. So Nancy says fine. So hopefully Patty went out and came back in so that she's not frozen anymore. That happens to me too. And I have to go out and come back in. So now I'm just going to take a little bit more of the old olive and add it to the bottom of the leaves. I don't want it to be too much. And we'll dry it. Now we'll dry it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, so there we have it. So I don't know if there's a delay here, but I don't know if you can see it. But the silver, the shimmer in the paper, I don't think you could see that. So now we're going to take the punch and we're just going to punch out the birds. And then we're going to take the circle punch. Now this is retired, so I'm using 2 items that are retired that you can't order from Stampin' Up. Is 1 1/4 inch punch. We still have circle punches, but they're retiring. This one was retired in the last catalog. And I'm also using silver thread. Both of these can be purchased in any craft store. So that's why I'm using it, because it's not exclusive. Okay, and you can get it anywhere. And now I will punch out 2 special deliveries. And then this needs to be cut out, but I have already pre-cut. Since we're doing 2 cards tonight, I wanted to make sure that I pre-cut the flowers that we need. I'm going to put this on the side. The next thing we need is some silver foil. And I have that here. So here's the silver foil. And we're going to use a postage stamp here. Silver foil is retiring also in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. It's still available, but it is retiring. And then we're going to use a piece of Rich Razzleberry cardstock, and this is where we're going to stamp the sentiment. In Versamark, but we're going to clean it off first, get all the dust off once again. And in my sample, I used Happy Birthday, and on this one, I just want to use just a note. I want it to be different. And that is way too big a block. So here we go. We'll use a small one. Okay. And we're going to use white embossing powder in this case. And that is good. Now let's get the white. Oh, let me not put it on top of there. Hi, Carmen. Thanks for the shares. Nice to see you here. Okay, there's just a note. And now heat tool one more time. It's 1 1/4. 1 1/4 inch circle punch, Kathleen. But you can also use layering circles, the dies, and in that there is a die that cuts like with a little bit of a jagged edge. But I didn't want to use that for this. So now I'm going to cut this down, not down here. I don't want to cut the words off. I may need to trim that a little bit more. And now it's small enough that I can hand cut it. And I want to do a flag on each end. But before I do that, now I want to go straight across with my scissors because I want to get a little bit closer to the letters. Okay, now I'm going to take my pointy scissors, my paper snips, and make a flag. Okay, I have my very light sweater on, or sweatshirt on, and I'm going to have to take it off in a moment because now I am getting warm. Actually, I should have made this flag a little bit longer. I might change that up later, but we're going to work with this for now. Okay. All right, so the next part is I'm going to make sure that this is the layer that goes right on top because the insert and the one on top are very similar, but this is slightly smaller. So this is, again, the shimmery white. Yes, it's 1 1/4 inch. Yep. That's the size of the circle punch, 1 1/4 inch. You can't really see the number on there, but that's what it is. Okay, now I have Versamark on my stamp set, and I need to use Rich Razzleberry ink, so I'm going to clean that off real quick. And then I am going to take a piece of scrap paper and just make sure I have it's dry. Okay. And now this is where I'm going to stamp just a note in the Rich Razzleberry. And I'm going to start up here. Let's see. Yeah. And I'm not going to put it back in the ink. Just going to work my way around. All the way down. Well, now I am going to a little bit. And that's fine. Oh, wait, maybe one more down here. Just like that. I did a little bit more because the words are smaller than what I used earlier at the happy birthday. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine because we're going to run this through. I forgot to tell you what dies and embossing folders we're using. We're going to run this through the Subtles, which is retiring. I love this folder, but we have something called Tile Texture something or other. It's similar. So it's not completely going away. It's just in a different style. So I'm going to use this. And I think I can use just my clear plate for this, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure. Sorry if it's shaking. Okay. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining. Okay. So now it has just a subtle look about it. And I'm sure it's hard to see for you, but it's there. Okay. And now we could start to put this together. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. Now, even though this is an embossing folder, it's not an embossing folder that has a lot of nooks and crannies in it. So I can use my Stampin' Seal and it won't pull the paper. Okay. And now we'll adhere this to the base. Okay, and there we have it. So now we're going to take the, let's see, we'll take the silver postage and the birds, and we're going to glue that. Actually, I think I'm going to use tear and tape. I'm not sure how well it stuck earlier to my sample, or yesterday to my sample. So I'm going to use tear and tape here, just to make sure that it really sticks to the silver foil. Because I don't know if the Stamp and Seal, it came up a little bit on my sample. So I want to just be very secure with it. And there we have it. So it's just a very little bit sneaking out. Peeking out, I should say. Peeking out. Okay. So I'm going to put this right about here. So let's get, oh, here they are. All our circles. And this is where we can use adhesive. Oh, I need my mat. Should always use your mat so you don't, silicone mat, so you don't glue up your surface, your work surface. Okay, and we'll stick that right about there. I haven't glued this down. That's going to go down with dimensionals. And now we'll get the other one. It's just there for placement of these little special deliveries. Okay, that one will go there. This one will go here. Okay. And now this is where I'm going to take out my pre-cut flowers. So instead of me cutting this out in front of you, I did do them ahead of time, and I cut them ahead of time so that you didn't have to stay here watching me cut, because this is kind of, these do not have dies, and it's kind of, you know, intricate cutting here because it's a small image. So if you're not into fussy cutting, this is definitely not the kind of card you want to make with this stamp set. You just want to do something that is straightforward, stamping on the cardstock and not cutting at all. But because I love dimension, I fussy cut. So now this is going to go here on top, about here, not the whole thing. And then this one's going to go in here, about that much. Now let me make sure. Yep, it doesn't come off the card. Perfect. Now we can put dimensionals behind here. Lori says she really likes what I'm doing with this stamp set. I'm going to show you the whole 3-card set. It's going to be part of a giveaway, not tonight, but for my April kit. I'm trying to find an open pack of dimensionals. I know I have a sheet that's open that's been used, but I can't find it at the moment, so we'll use another sheet. Thank you, Lori. And so we'll use just a few. Oops. Well, I said just a few. I'm just kidding. A lot of dimensionals. And then for here, this area, I want to use something that's already kind of smaller. I cut this down already. So we'll go like that. Okay. Hi, Kathleen. I'm going to answer your question. I think for me, it's because I have this tiny, very pointy scissors that, you know, these are my paper snips. But, I mean, if you don't have paper snips, something small and pointy, that's what helps me. I could never do it with scissors like this. You can't do it. It's way too big, fat. So it has to be a very thin, pointy scissor for sure. And just patience. It really is easy. actually. As long as you don't mind fussy cutting, it is easy. I think I did one the other night. But yeah, I just kind of, that little point, because it's so thin, it just gets right in there. I didn't have a problem. But I know it could be problematic. Oh, wait, I got to take that off. I forgot something. Wait, see what happens? I say it all the time when I start talking too much. What happens? I mess up. I forget a step. This can come up. It's covering anyway. And this could come up. All right, let's put this on the side for 1 second. This is where the silver thread is coming in. Now, the other day, I tied bows, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do the quick bows for this because I like the way that looks better than trying to twirl the whole thing around. I know it's a little bit thin, and I might not get this perfectly. Yeah, you see? You know what? Maybe we won't. Let's go like this. I'm going to put some glue in the center. And then I'll wrap it around. So I'm going to take a piece. I don't know if you guys could see this, and I'm twirling it around on this card all over. Let's see. Whoops. Okay. I'll leave that one there. And now we'll take another piece and twirl that around. I just like it better when I do a bow. And then let this one point out this way. We'll see how that looks. And now we'll take this back and put that on. And then cut down these extra pieces here. Okay. Now we're going to take I think it's a little crooked, just a note, and put some liquid glue, glue dot on one side that's going to sit on top of this, which has already got dimensionals behind it. So the word just is going to sit right on top of there. And then we want some dimensionals on the other side, right here. And then put that right about there. Now we'll get some rhinestones. Hi, Sonia. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Carol. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to get some big rhinestones and little rhinestones. Here's a big one. I'll put that right about here. And then a smaller one around here. And a smaller one here. And then the inside is going to look like this, but I'm not going to do it on camera because we have another card to do. And I'll show you. So here's tonight's. So one says happy birthday and one says just a note. And then the inside, now this one is more white because I used basic white rather than the shimmery white. And this was not, these were not white. These were the shimmery white. And then that's what the inside is going to look like once I do the inside. So this is going to go in here. Actually, you know what? I have this extra piece. Not sure if I need it. I don't need it for the next card because we're doing watercoloring. So how about we take this piece and we liquid glue it and we put it on the inside instead of stamping it. But then the envelope is going to get heat embossed also. I'll show you that in a second. This is kind of good since I have this extra piece, right? I don't want to get too crazy with it. Let's put that on here. And then adhesive. And here we go. Cool. Here, and there it goes. And then the envelope will be nice and shiny as well. So there you have it. One's going to be birthday and one is just a note. Okay, so that's one watercoloring down. Let's get to the next card. But before we do, I just wanted to show you guys here on my blog. Well, my logo's usually up there, but it cut off. So these are the tabs on my blog. And right under the Shop My Online Store on my blog is the April host code. And also now you'll see here on my blog, Shop My Tutorials. This is going to say Shop My Tutorials and cards. Because it will not only have my tutorials in there, it will also have cards, because I want to take away my Etsy store. My Etsy store is a little confusing, so I just would like to have it all in one place. So my tutorials and my cards that are for sale, like my keepsake cards, will all be in this area. Okay, I just wanted to mention that. Okay, let's move on to the second card that we sliced up. And where are my pieces? Okay, here they are. Hold on. I'll bring those over in a second. All right. Okay, so we have this piece. This is the base, and then this is the top layer. So let's just give this base a nice crease. And then we're going to bring over the, actually we're going to clear emboss this image, the same image, the same flower image we used a few minutes ago. So let me clean this off. And we're only doing the bottom half. And I'm going to bring over my scrap paper so I can sit this on here. And the Versamark. And I'm going to go like this so I'm not shaking the whole screen. And I'll go like that. And then I'm going to turn this around a bit, like that. And then maybe even like that. And then this one, I think I'll go like that. And then I'll get a little bit of the leaf image in here. And maybe a little bit of the leaf image over here as well. Okay, and now this is going to go into the clear embossing powder. We did this the other night. And I'm going to use the spoon for this. So we've only got the bottom edge covered. That's it. Okay, put that aside. And it'll get loud for a second. I'm going to use the heat tool. You know, I'm seeing a little bit of a naked area right there, and I'd like to cover that a little bit. So I'm going to ink this and just get a little bit of leaf in there. I didn't get enough of leaf in there. Okay, we'll just heat that up again real quick. I just didn't want to have so much empty space. That'll just take a second. Okay, that's better. That little bit of space, open space, was bothering me. Okay, next I'm going to take a piece of, I cut a piece of silver. Here it is. I did cut a piece of silver. It's somewhere here. I just have to find it for a second. Whoops. We're also using the Forever. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. We need one piece of silver foil. And I thought I cut it, and now I can't find it. So I'm going to cut another piece. And it's going to go across. So this is long enough. But before, actually we'll cut it, but before I do that, I also need to put this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I don't want this to be too, I only wanted about 1/4 of an inch. So that's good. And you know I'm going to find the piece that I cut, right? Okay, so before this, I want to run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the Subtles folder again. So let me bring, ooh, so sorry. Let me bring that in. So sorry. And we'll just do that quickly. As I said, this is retiring. Now, I don't want to do the flowers. So I want to be sure not to cover the flowers with this folder. Okay. Good. Got a little bit of the flowers, but it'll work. We're going to cover it up anyway with the silver, sliver of silver. Okay, so that should be, here it is. So now we can cover that like that. And here I want to use liquid glue. And I think I'm just going to put a thin layer of liquid glue going across here, rather than on the back of the, I need to clean this. And now I'll put that right on top. Like that. And it's still got a little messy, but that's going to get covered up anyway. And now we'll cut this down, the excess. So there's our silver. Oh, and just right before I came on live, I had to call up for jury duty, and tomorrow I have to be a standby juror at 1:30. Ugh. I really was hoping not to. I'm not sitting on a case yet. I'm just going to see if I'm going to get called, but I hope not. Even though I'm not working right now, I'd really rather not. Okay, so now this is going to go on the base. And like I said, I'm using a subtle embossing folder. It doesn't have a lot of nooks and crannies, so I can use Stampin' Seal. Whoops. And it won't pull. It shouldn't anyway. It doesn't for me. Okay. And I just dropped something. And there, look what wound up on the floor, and my chair just crushed it, was that silver piece. See, I found it. Not in good condition, but I found it. Okay, so some more pieces we're using are from, we're using this piece from the rectangle. I cut that already, and now this is retiring to a wild rose. And I'm using the dies, which is this big layering piece, this tag. That's what we're using out of that. Okay, and the rectangle stitch dies. I forgot to show you that earlier. So now let's take some Wink of Stella. I don't have much left in here, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit. And I'm going to go on the top. I keep forgetting to, I thought I ordered this and I didn't, and I just keep forgetting. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit more because I think I have just a bit more. And maybe I'll be able to get a little bit on top of the card. So I have some of the Forever Flourishing leaves. I already die cut those. And now we're going to just on Whisper White. Well, I'm not going to color them because we already did that earlier. So let's just take out the pieces that I already did color. If you were here with me the other night, you saw me color them on Memento, and then we used the blends to color them in. Actually, I should have done that just for anybody that's new here that may not have seen it. Thanks, Patricia. Good idea. Take some of this stuff to do while I'm waiting, right? Exactly. So, you know what? Let's just color one, just for anybody that wasn't here the other day. Let's just color one. One of the flowers with the blends. I would hate to assume that everybody that's here tonight was here the other day when I did this. So I'm not going to assume that, and we're going to just color one with the blends. I'm gonna make sure this is clean. Yep. And now I'm going to take the Memento ink and let's see. This is just basic white because we're using blends and Memento. And we'll get the, let's let that dry for a second. Take some stuff there to do while you wait to hear about, yep, exactly. That's what I used to do. You know, I don't remember the last year that I think the last time I served was maybe 2012. Oh, shoot, that was the leaf. That's okay. I'm not going to use this one anyway. So I'm just throwing some color, dark, rich raspberry, and now I'm going to blend it all with the light, but I want the brush side. And this is retiring the rich raspberry blends, not the cardstocks or markers, but the blends are retiring. I am not sure why, but they are. I don't know if it's because we have Blackberry Bliss that is in the same family. I'm not really sure. I don't know if anybody here knows why, but I don't know exactly why. I'm just going to assume because we have Blackberry Bliss and it's in the same color family. So that's the dark and the light on the blends. And now I'm going to use the bullet tip for the dark Old Olive, and then we'll blend it with the light Old Olive. Oh, but I want the blend on this one. So yeah, after this live, I'm looking forward to sitting upstairs and watching some TV and with my husband and flipping through my catalog with my Post-it notes. So there you have it. There's our coloring for anybody who didn't see how blends were used the other day. And here they are all cut out. Okay. And I even did the postage stamp one. Where is that? In the stamp set. Where's my stamp set? So I stamped the postage, the word love, and cut out the flowers, and that is this right here. Okay, so that's already pre-done. Since we were doing 2 cards tonight, I wanted to make sure that I did a little bit of the prep work ahead of time. And now we're going to cut down a few of these Forever Flourishing Leaves. And we're going to use a sponge to distress the edges a bit. And I don't think I need 2 of them. I think I just need the 1. Should be fine. Yeah, we'll work with just the 1 for now and put this one on the side. And then I do have a sponge somewhere. I thought I did. But if I don't, I will get another one and sponge up these edges. And I'm going to take some Mossy Meadow in this case. I want it to be a little bit darker than the Old Olive. And just give the edges a little bit of a sponge. I don't want it to be plain. So you see how it just gives it a little bit of color on the edges. On the tips, I should say. I know Mango Melody blends are retiring. Didn't know about Rich Razzleberry. That's what I've heard. I didn't actually read it though. I just heard it from another demonstrator. So hopefully that's right. One other thing that people are saying that is not true is that Tear and Tape is retiring. It is not retiring. It is coming back, but it is coming back in, there's going to be a new item number, and I think it's coming back in a different packaging, and it may be a different company making it. But I was very devastated when I heard Tear and Tape. I use that almost all the time. So then I saw that it is in the new catalog. It's just going to be a little bit different, I guess. But I have at least 10 rolls in my drawer, so I'll be using that for a while. Oh, that's not ink. That's just paper. Good. Okay. Mango Melody is retiring. You know why? Probably because we have the Pale Papaya coming. It's one of the new ink colors. I'm going to guess because it's similar, isn't it? Okay, now we're going to do, once again, we're going to ink up that Just a Note. Now, on my original, I used Happy Birthday, but in this case, I want to do something different, so I'm using Just a Note. And I want to make sure it's clean because I'm putting it in Versamark, and it's not that clean yet. But now it's getting there. Okay, that's better. Let's put this away. And we need that purple Rich Razzleberry piece. And we're going to do Versamark again. I don't know how I keep losing everything. I know I had my Versamark right here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. And I need to clean that off. Okay. And I'll go like this so that way. Now this is kind of a big tag for this little word, but these little words, but oh, I got a little line on the bottom. I rocked it. I'm going to flip it over and clean it because I don't want that line down there. So I rocked it a little bit. Now I'm just going to go straight down and not rock it. Okay, much better. I don't have a little line down here. Sometimes when it's not cut really close to the edge of the words, you get a little line. And if you rock it a little bit, that line will show up. So you want to be careful not to do that, not to rock. And now we'll get the white embossing powder. I'll just stick this in here. Got nice coverage on there. Not so nice coverage on there. I need my tweezers. when you take a better look at things, sometimes what appears to be good. Now that's good coverage. Okay. You know, I give these cards away at some point. These cards, like I said, are part of a 3-card set, and it's going to be part of my April Kit to Go giveaway, which my April Kit to Go is not ready. Hopefully by Thursday night's live, I'll have that kit ready. Hopefully. Okay. And there we have it. So now we're going to put this together. And I'm going to put some dimensionals behind here. And in this case, Kathleen, I know you asked the question, because I'm putting it on black cardstock. I am going to put black dimensionals, so that way if you look at it from the side, you don't see white dimensionals sticking out, you see black. Not that anybody's going to look at your card that closely, but to me, last week I used the black ones, white ones, and I didn't really want to do that. I need to go this way because I have some ink on there. And we'll go like that. Is that straight? Yeah, that's straight. And now I'm going to put some adhesive here because I'm going to zigzag some of the metallic edge ribbon. So I'll start from here. And then I don't want it to be too big. And then I'll go this way. I'm going to put some tear and tape to hold that down. I'm actually going to move this a little bit. And maybe zigzag this way. I hope that's going to get covered. I'm thinking it will be, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to cover this whole thing. We'll see. Might have to fussy with it a little bit. Okay, so that's held down by that because this is going to go here. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Woo, made it. Okay. So now what we're going to do is stick some dimensionals behind here. But right in the center, because I'm going to have to stick things underneath. So I don't want to go all the way out here with the dimensionals yet. We'll secure it later. Now on my original, I used the, I have to take off my sweater. On the original, I used the Stitch So Sweetly scalloped one, which was wider but not longer. In this case, I wanted something a little bit longer. So now we can start to place these pieces. Okay, so I'm going to get some glue dots and start placing them very loosely. So there's just one glue dot on here, and I'm going to stick that under here. And then I'll get another one. Whoops. Well, I don't need this piece anyway. So there. Get rid of that. And just kind of throw that in here. This has to go in further. I can't have it sticking off the card too much, you know? Otherwise it'll interfere with the envelope. And let's get this bigger one down here. And that'll go there. And I'm just like very lightly placing these because I'm not 100% sure they're going to stay where they are once I get the flowers on. And then this one will go about here. And this one This is the one I cut out from the word love, and that will go about here. And then we'll put a dimensional behind there as soon as I'm 100% sure that's where it's staying. Okay. And now we can play with the flowers. And I'm going to put some, I'm just going to put a dimensional glue dot behind each. I want to be sure that I'm placing them where I want. And then once I am sure, I'll just pull it. And add some, or just add some additional glue dots underneath. Let's go here. And then one more in the center. Just a nice arrangement. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. And, you know, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, the scalloped one looks much better. And I think you guys are going to agree when I show you. So let's get the rhinestones on. And let's put a dimensional behind here. So that doesn't fall off. And I'll secure these later. But for now, the placement is good. And we'll get a few rhinestones. I'll put one here. And a smaller one will go here. I don't want that there. And the reason I don't want it to be straight across, I'll put it there for now. I might move these around also. And then one more. Let's see. It's giving me a hard time. One more down here. Okay. And then we need the insert, which would be white. We're going to put a white, I'm going to put a white insert in here with the flowers. I'll show you the original. So it's pretty much done. And now the original, I used a, this is the Subtles folder. On this one, I used that textile that, I forget what it is, and it shows up a little bit more. But you see the difference between, this one is better. So I'm probably, it just adds more interest, right? The one with the scallop than this plain old one. So looking at it now, I definitely should go with the scallop. What do you guys think? The same? And then this is what the envelope will look like. And, oh, let's get some Wink of Stella on there. Let's get some Wink of Stella on just the, yeah, I have some. I have just enough juice in there to probably get these done. I might have to squeeze out a little bit more. But I think I might be able to, just the flowers, not the leaves. Yeah, I'm making it. Yes, we made it with the Wink of Stella. Terrific. Okay, so there's the Wink of Stella. Now I didn't do the inside of this card either, but it is going to look just like that. And even the Wink of Stella is even on the envelope. You probably can't see it, but it is. So do you guys agree with the scallop? Yes, Stacy says scallop. I agree. It needs the scallop. It needs to have that in there. So anyway, so let me bring all three out. So we'll leave this one out since we like the scallop better, but this is a mess. So this one has to be redone too because it's all messy. Okay, so we'll leave this one here. And let me see. So this was our original from the other day. This is the one we started off with. Let me see if I can clean this up and bring it over. And where's the one we just made tonight? Oh, where did I put it? Okay, guys, I'm trying to find the other one that I made. Where did I put it? It's got to be right here somewhere. Okay, be patient with me while I dig for that. Oh my goodness, can you believe I cannot find it? Find what I did with it. Let me see. Did I put it up here? Is it here? Anybody know what I did with it? The very first one we did? Let's see. Did I put it over here? Oh, here it is. Okay, found it. Way in the back. Whew. How could things disappear that way, huh? Okay. So here's the other one we made tonight, just a note, but I think I like Happy Birthday better on here too. But maybe I wanted to use all three. I wanted it to be a set. So maybe I'll put just a note on here. I don't know. I'm going to switch it up somehow. So let's pretend. So this is the one we made tonight. This was my sample. And this was the original one we made the other day. Hopefully they're all in camera. Let me see. So yeah, it's kind of a different set for me. So for my April kit to go, which would be my April Papillion Project Pack, I think I'm going to get rid of that name. It's too much of a mouthful. So April kit to go. This will be the prize. It will be entered into the drawing for all those that purchase my April kit to go. Your names will be put into the drawing and you will receive this set, 3 envelopes, 3 cards as a gift for participating in that program for April. Now for my 600th member, whoever it is that person's going to be, will also get a set. So whoever my 600th member is going to get this set. So we have 3 more people to join the group and we'll be at 600. And then we'll move on to 1,000. How's that sound? Let's see how fast we can get to 1,000. But I hope you enjoyed the cards tonight and I hope you enjoyed this set and give it a try yourself using whatever colors appeal to you. And I'm going to be back again on Thursday evening. Cross your fingers that I don't have to do jury duty. I just have to stand by tomorrow. And I have my book, actually. I think I'm going to, Patricia, I think I'm going to bring a book and take a break from crafting for a little while. I'll bring a book. And besides that, I don't think they'll let me bring scissors in. What do you think? Actually, I did get away with scissors in my carry-on on a plane once. So sometimes they detect it, sometimes they don't. But I think I'm just going to bring my book. So anyway, I'll see you guys hopefully on... Nora says, congratulations on being so close to 600. Thank you. It's about a month ago when we were at 522. So hi, Trisha. Hi, Trisha. Yep, you can watch the replay. Monday night is not my usual night. I just wanted to finish this setup. Thursday night is my usual night, and I'll be back. So see you Thursday evening and have a wonderful beginning of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.